down to is sexism. No matter what the issue is, I'm still a male. A male cannot go to a woman for help in most cases without her talking over him, talking about herself, blowing him off, or shaming him. There are a lot of women like Jaime Hathaway, many others that got a hold of me, stalked me on Facebook. Well, at least she admitted it. The problem is, I have to go to people to try to get help. And men, they tell me, oh, you just need to man up. You just need to man up. Women tend to tell me pretty things and then tell me about how they're too busy. Why don't they know anything about what's going on? Because they're always too busy. Always too busy. But they never come forward about that in court. They let me get ran over. As if I didn't try to get help. As if people didn't offer help. The problem is that people wanted to selectively change their words. Like when I'm not able to do something and somebody is trying to badger it down my throat. When somebody wants me to download an app instead of making a call with me to the police. They want me to download an app. That doesn't help. My phone is too full for me to make videos on it. I can't save them to my phone. And now this phone is full. This is all expensive, just to show that I'm trying to get help, Jamie. Now here's the thing about when somebody is being abused. When you leave them hanging, you are a horrible person. That does not feel good. Why would you think that feels good? Meanwhile, you sent me a friend request back in May of 2022. That was well over a year ago. This is the help that we get from web sleuth type folks. The people who watch these Natalie Bollinger groups. But then they don't want to see any evidence or share it. It's just their curiosity. It's got nothing to do with doing the right thing or helping the victim. When somebody is being victimized, all right, the first 24 hours right there, that is the most important. When something needs to be done right away, when there is a victim, regardless of gender, something needs to be done right away to gather the evidence, to make sure and ensure the safety of the victim. But no matter what, that wasn't happening because I'm the wrong gender. I am too easy to blow off. You go, oh, well, I'm a woman. Here's all my women problems. You know nothing about my issues because any time that you say that you're going to listen, it's always about your stuff. You just let people hurt me. You refuse to look and you blow me off. Set a time to do it. Don't leave somebody hanging when they're in hell. It doesn't matter how many hours you want to tell me that you work in a week. You never should have stuck your nose in my business to begin with. But since you did, I have to post it up. I can't just wait on some woman to eventually actually care. So what does Jaime Hathaway know about what happened this week? Nothing. How about what happened last week? Nothing. How about the week before? Nothing. So she's not stopping to consider everything that I'm having to go through, but I am expected to consider what she's going through. She's not going to set up a time and keep her word. She's going to ignore me for long periods of time, as everyone does. No, you don't care if you're ignoring the victim. If you're not even taking the time to hear what they have to say, how horrible is that? Do you know how horrible it is that there are literally hundreds of people who claim that they would help me, all of them doing exactly what you're doing, Jamie? You tell me your kids, your kids, your kids. Yeah, you had kids when you stuck your nose in it too. You don't stop to consider how hurtful this is. I can't message you right now in Messenger. I'm not capable. I have to post stuff up publicly to get your attention. Not that you're going to see it anyway. In 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to say you're sorry. 2 to 3 weeks again. After that, it'll be, I'm sorry. Or 6 months after that. I'm sorry. No, you're not sorry. Or you would change your behaviors. You would take it seriously. You would stop lying to me and telling me you care and actually care. I shouldn't have to post this publicly on YouTube to get you to listen, to get you to actually understand. It's not just your picture and your name on my YouTube channel. For you, it's not literally hundreds of them. See, this is the problem with having to go to any woman in the United States for help. Most of them are too busy trying to get selfies of themselves so they control people to tell them how beautiful they are, how good looking they are, how gorgeous they are. I'm feeling a little buzzed. I probably shouldn't type to this guy or anything creepy like that or send him any friend requests, but I really want to creep on his profile. And how many of y'all women do that? You get on my profile and you creep on it because you heard some Natalie Bollinger show. But then you're not going to look at any of the evidence that shows that it's bogus. You're not going to help me to do any of that stuff. You're going to lie to me and tell me that eventually you're going to care. Eventually you're going to do something. No, you're not. None of you are. Here I am trying to show you the abuse that I go through. Getting someone to even call and listen is impossible. Males have it a lot worse than you want to pretend. My physical disabilities prevent me from doing a lot of stuff. People's assumptions of the homeless prevents me from being able to do a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff that you're not listening to. You're not calling. You're not paying any attention to. I get that you may work a whole bunch of hours a week. Understand that, well, a lot of people do. I used to work a lot of hours when I was able to. And just so you know, I loved work. But you know what? When something is important, you make the time. I know a lot of women like to post up selfies, get all prettied up and dolled up and post up a selfie and try to get some attention. Sometimes you have a draining week and you want to feel pretty. You want to throw that smile on and pretend everything's okay. Whether it is or not is not my business. The thing is, things are not okay with me. Things are not okay because I have had to go in by myself every time to try to turn in evidence. Trying to get them to take that evidence comes down to whether or not there's another human being who cares. When you tell me that you believe me or type to me that you believe me, what do you believe when you haven't heard anything? What do you believe? You tell me you believe me, huh? What have you heard? What have I said that you are to believe? When you're always too busy, too busy, too busy. Well, why get involved to begin with? You don't stop to consider the effects for me. You don't stop to consider what kind of abuse this really is, what it entails. You got to hear, well, you didn't listen to it. You're not going to listen to any of it. I get that you're too busy, you're too busy, you're too busy. That's why I posted up that you're too busy, and your reasons or excuses, it doesn't matter which, for being too busy. I don't care what your excuse is for being too busy. The courts do. See, I have to post everything up in public for a reason. The cops and courts will say whatever they want. By courts, I mean systemic abuse. When you're homeless, it is systemic abuse. And when you have literally hundreds of people like Jaime Hathaway, they wanted to send you friend requests. Some of them claim that it was an accident. Some of them, they claim that they want to help. All of them claim that they're sorry. Nearly all of them, except for the ones who get a hold of me to threaten my life. Meanwhile, Jaime Hathaway, sure, she'll type at me in another week or two, maybe, if that. And then I stop going back to people because I can't just keep doing that. I have to find somebody who actually cares, who's actually going to pay attention, who's not going to interrupt me a whole bunch of times and then ignore me for 3 weeks, making it worse, procrastinating. It shows that they don't care. So why tell somebody that you care when you don't? Why tell them that you care when all you're going to do is show that you don't? Typing that you care does not denote that you care. It denotes that you care to type. Whatever your motives are, you're still not helping the victim. And if you're not helping the victim, then no, you don't care. You need to help the victim to be taken seriously. When you tell the victim they have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops or you're not going to help them, or you claim that you care and you're going to help them and they jump through a bunch of hoops to try to show you what's going on and they're doing everything that they can. I get that you're busy. So if you're busy, then the least you can do is help me to get the process started. That's the problem with being homeless. No friends and family. People who might pretend, but in the end, they don't come through. Just like you. Most of my friends out on the streets are too busy getting drunk, getting messed up on drugs. And they're all in Boulder, Colorado. I don't have any friends here. I have people who like me here, but they're not friends. They absolutely don't help me how I need. And that is to have an advocate, a voice. None of these government advocates are going to do anything without a friend or family member advocating for me. It's called civilian oversight. And there was no civilian oversight. It's just systemic abuse. My predators doing everything that they can to cut me off from resources. Not that it matters. I waste a lot of time on people like Jaime Hathaway, who doesn't care. She doesn't care that her not calling, not setting up an actual time to keep her word. This is the difference between men and women. When a woman wants you to do something, she wants you to do it now. Right now. If there's an appointment, she wants you to be punctual. Some of the stuff that people are telling me they got to take care of, it's time sensitive, it's time sensitive. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. I get that many of you have kids. But imagine what it's like for me, having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women doing this. I don't know any of these women. I don't know Jaime Hathaway. But when everyone's always too busy, what does it result in? Let's take a look at the situation with a lot of these internet people who wanted to pretend like they cared. You don't leave them hanging. You don't say soon. Tell me exactly when soon is. Is soon today? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Also understand that there are things that I have to do in order to even make a call with you. So if you're going to call me maybe this afternoon, no, it's maybe sometime today, isn't it? Or soon, which soon to you means maybe this month, maybe this year. You don't stop to recognize the amount of abuse that I have gone through in between when you first contacted me and now. By the way, Jaime Hathaway, the worst you have to worry about with me making this video is you being embarrassed because I made a video. I'm harmed over the videos other people make. And every one of them treats me like you do. When I go to people and say, hey, could you please look at my side? Could you please hear my side? But none of you can do that. You're too selfish. Do you not get that your true crime entertainment are actual human beings whose lives you make hell by lying to them, by procrastinating and leading them on? And I'm not talking about leading them on sexually. I'm talking about you pretending that you give a shit. Not beyond just entertainment. You want to type that you care? Yeah, that might be a true statement. You do care, you just don't care about me. You want to pity party me and fucking shame me when you don't keep your word? Well, I'm going through hell because you're procrastinating, because you don't care. Because it was just entertainment for a bored house mom. How dare I call you a house mom? You have a job that takes up 50 hours a week or more. Thank goodness you can work. You don't stop to consider what this is like for a man because you don't even listen to what it's like for a man. How many people, no matter what I say, want to make it about Natalie and then say they don't want to hear anything about Natalie? There's a point to it, idiots. But it doesn't matter as long as it's not happening to you, right? You don't care how harmful that is. You don't stop to understand my disabilities or what I'm going through, or the fact that I am dependent on just one person, and all this time, one person to take it seriously. You want me to send you every single piece of evidence in order to get started, right? Well, then help me to fucking do that. You want to tell me you don't have time? Well, you had plenty of time to eat up my time by sticking your nose in my business. But it's not even my business, is it? It always ends up being yours. Or you playing 20 questions instead of listening. Here's one thing that I have learned from every woman that I know. If she says anything like soon or later or maybe, it's a no. If she gave a shit, she would tell you a time and make the appointment. If you want to know if a woman actually cares about you, if she actually cares, she will commit to a time and a date. And she will keep her word. How many women promised that they would help before Natalie was killed? And no matter what, when it came to them actually getting off their fat asses, they did literally nothing useful except talk about them. Sean, I need this and I need that. Sean, will you do this? Will you do that? Jaime Hathaway, how long have you been on my friends list? When is the first time that you sent me a message? Nobody's got time, nobody's got time, nobody's got time. Y'all had plenty of time to snoop at the beginning. The thing is, when you say that you care, men tend to show that they care. How is a man expected to show that he cares? He's expected to fix your porch. He's expected to bring you flowers. He's expected to pay for dinner. He's expected to take abuse for you. He's expected to defend your honor even if you have none. Jamie, I'm frustrated and sorries don't help. I get that you're busy. Everybody's too busy, especially when it's a man who needs help. Especially if he's disabled, he's too easy to blow off. Jamie, the reason I show this stuff is because it's an example of how much time I have spent trying to get a friend or family member to help, and I'm having to depend on complete and total strangers. Even with many of the places that I have been to, people being locked up now. Officers being locked up now because the things I told y'all that they were doing, they were actually doing. They got arrested for doing it to others, but you still won't listen. You still procrastinate. You still don't care. How long would it take for you to turn it in if your child was sexually assaulted? How about if they're an adult? If they were sexually assaulted or physically assaulted, how long would it take you to help them turn it in? Or would you be perpetually and always too busy?